I'm going to have to go play Augusta.
Wow, did you just say you love golf more than football now?
Oh, yeah. Larry Fitzgerald. That's who really got me into golf. I actually lived with him my first year as a rookie. I kind of like not working and
golfing,
whatever I wanted to. My mom didn't care anything about football. She just wanted me to graduate. Oh, if you can't give me a scholarship off my tape, I'm not going there. Like, forget it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Athletes in Sports podcast. We are here live at the Minnesota Golf Show. It's Sunday. It's the last day of the golf show. I'm Max Smith, the host of the podcast. I've also got my beautiful co-host and wife here, Bridget Smith.
Thank you.
We are with the In Sports Foundation, so we're all about helping kids get more involved in sports. We put on free camps for kids. We give scholarships. We sponsor teams, everything that we can do to help reduce the cost of playing sports. And to date, we've helped about 70,000 kids through our programs. And today we've got a very special guest from Minnesota, went to Cretin-Durham Hall, played football at Notre Dame, played about 8 seasons in the NFL. We've got Michael Floyd here. Michael, thanks for joining us today. I know you're a football player, but we are at a golf event. How did you get into golf? Because you're an avid golfer now. Did you play golf growing up, or was it something that you started later in life?
Nah, usually as an NFL player, if you don't have kids, or if you do have kids, if you're young, you're playing video games.
Yep.
When you're not at work, or you're golfing. And I lived in Arizona for 6 years, so 3 of my good friends off the team got me involved in golf, and I haven't stopped. I just got the itch, and it kept going.
That's a good place to start golf in Arizona. If you're down in Arizona, if you started out in Minnesota, you might not have gotten that much golf in during the season.
No, I think every course there, everyone says like, "What course should you play?" And I'm just like, dude, you can go every single block, and there's somewhere good to play. Like it's an unreal. If you love golf, that's the place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you were with the Cardinals, who was the best golfer on the team that you played with?
At that time, played Patrick Peterson, played cornerback. Larry Fitzgerald, that's who really got me into golf. I actually lived with him my first year as a rookie. So I really didn't have time to play video games. It was just, playing golf. So, but that's who really inspired me to play golf and got me better at the game.
Yeah.
So.
Do you still get out with Larry?
When he comes back in town, he usually comes only in the summertime. Otherwise, he's just traveling everywhere, business stuff or golf. So I keep him super close as a friend just because, there's going to be one time where, like, I get the opportunity to play a course that not a lot of people play, and he's going to invite me. So
might start with an A or something like that?
Yes, yeah. It does.
That's great. So when you started playing golf, did you pick it up naturally? I mean, you're a natural athlete, obviously, right? But golf, for me, is a whole nother ball game. Like, were you always good, or do you feel like it took a long time?
That's a great question, because I always see guys on social media who just started, and they're saying, they shoot in the 90s, 85. I'm like, dude, one, I'm a better athlete than you, and I play way more golf in Arizona than you. There's no way you're better than me. Like, it took me a legit 3 to 4 years to be somewhat good.
Yeah.
Like, I remember betting against one of my teammates, and, like, literally I probably paid his rent because, like, I was losing all the time. But when I started, my 8-iron was just, like, my comfortable club. Mm-hmm. Like, I can hit it like I'm pitching wedge, or I can hit it 185. Like, that was my club. But, I just, with no kids and a wife at the time, like, I could play 250 rounds a year.
Easy, right?
Easy.
Yeah.
And but now it's a little bit limited now, so.
I feel like golf, like, every shot you hit, it's different, right? So you have different terrain. You hit a shot one time and you hit the same shot, but it goes somewhere completely different. Like, any minor tweak can change it. Like, I think that's my biggest thing. Like, I played basketball growing up. You can make it up with if you have a bad shot, you can go play good defense and, get a rebound or steal the ball back. But golf is just, every shot is so technical and so important, and everyone's watching you.
Yeah.
The fact that,
Yeah.
that I don't know, to me, it just makes
Well,
golf a
I
little
mean,
intimidating.
it's intimidating with just like your foursome sometimes, and then like you get into like a charity tournament or like a pro-am, and then there's lots of people watching you.
I remember I played a pro-am at Riviera.
Okay.
And, you hit par 5, the first shot, but the clubhouse is right there. And they call your name out like you're playing on the tour. So Michael Floyd from Notre Dame, everyone's clapping. I'm like, oh, shoot. What have I gotten myself into? Like, shaking, but I hit a good shot, so that's good.
That is the nerves on the first tee, whether it's a pro-am or just you haven't played in a while and you're getting out there. Is there something when you get up to the first tee, do you have a mental like checklist that you go through to prepare for that first shot?
I try to stay the same routine. So I just easy swings, follow through, getting on my left side. But it's crazy you asked that because like I played in a match at Golden Valley and I hit it down the middle. But then I called my wife walking down the fairway because I was like, honey, that same feeling I got playing football, I'm getting it right now. Like I can feel it. Like I can feel my hair on my skin like raising up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I birdied and birdied, but like I couldn't believe like because that competitive side of me came out in a one-on-one match, but I would not think it came out during golf. Mm-hmm. But like I was like, this is crazy.
That's when you know for the love of the game, right?
Yes.
I mean, a feeling you can't force.
Yes.
That's super cool. Well, I would love to transition, kind of going back to your football career. Like, where did it all start? When did you find the love for football, and did somebody do that? Was that intrinsic? How did that all start?
3rd grade. I played on the West Side Boosters on the west side of St. Paul. My dad was a coach, and he got me into golf. He got me into football, and he always said to me, which as a little kid, you just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But he always said like, Michael, you can make it to the NFL, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going out here to run around. And that's where it started. 3rd grade, I played with 6th graders at the time.
Wow.
Were you big for your age or just quick?
Small.
Or just okay?
So there's a guy that I went to high school with who was in 6th grade at the time and would always beat me. But as we got to high school, I got a lot bigger than him and kind of took his spot. But
no harsh feelings now, right?
But that's where it started. 3rd grade. I played football when it was football season, and then I ran track and played basketball just to get my body in shape for football. But I was just an all-around athlete. So,
were you always a wide receiver, or was that something that you found as your youth career and getting into high school kind of developed over time?
Yeah, it didn't change until sophomore year of high school, because from freshman year to sophomore year, I grew like 7 inches in the summer.
Wow.
And I was like, my legs are too long for letting everyone on the field hit me. So I'm like, let me get a position where like smaller guys have the time to hit me. So I moved to wide receiver at that point.
How did you like having your dad as a coach?
He was cool.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was laid back. That's how I see myself with my own kids.
Yeah.
Not saying much. When the game's done, it's a good game, son. But after that, it's, going to eat pizza. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I got that from him, and that's kind of what I implement with, me being a father right now, too, to my kids. Just, they only see you as a father. So that's what I mainly want to be.
Yeah, our son Brax, I feel like that's exactly, Max, you're coaching him in hockey right now, and I feel like he loves having you as a coach, but you do such a good job at the end of the game. We're not talking strategy. It's, hey, did you have fun out there? Like, yeah, what do you want for dinner? You just kind of shut it off because, at that age, they are so influenced by how you act and respond. And I think earlier on in the season, I'd be like, oh, Braxy, maybe next time do this. And now we're just like, let's just stop. Let him enjoy it. He's 7 years old. Have fun on the ice. Just play the game. Yeah.
Have fun. That's what it's all about at that age, is actually getting all the fundamentals down. and the technique, whether it's golf or football or any sport.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to have fun. And if you're not having fun, like, it's probably not the sport you want to be in. They want to be able to be like, I want my son or my daughters to be like, hey, you want to go outside and play catch? Let's go and play catch, Dad. Not me saying, hey, let's go. You know?
Right.
So, I think that's where my kids are now, and I enjoy it.
Well, that's such good advice for parents, because when your kids are asking you to go do something, there's going to come a point where they get to a certain age and they're not going to be asking you to go shoot hoops or play catch anymore.
No.
And so you got to take advantage of that when they're little. And when they want to play catch, you might be, frustrated from work or thinking about what you're making for dinner. But if Braxton's asking, hey, let's go play football, like, I always try to do that. Like, let's go play catch.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And so your kids, are any of them playing sports right now or in any activities?
My daughter goes, she plays tennis, piano, and volleyball.
Awesome.
She's 11. My son is kind of navigating on what he wants to do.
And he's
at
how
4.
old?
He's 4.
Okay.
Turns 5 next month, but we have him in breakdancing class,
Love it.
basketball, baseball. But my wife doesn't want him to play football. But if he ever comes like, hey, Dad, you want to go and try out for the football team? I'm like, I can't say no.
Right.
But she hopes that he doesn't like it like me, She thinks I have memory loss, but it's only like selective hearing.
Right.
So.
I think that's just a male thing. I don't think that's a football thing. Yeah. How about flag football? Has that ever came up as a different avenue to get in the game, but maybe not have as much physicality as tackle football?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, we might do that. Never been talks about it yet, but if he wants to do it, yeah, he'll do it. I mean, he wants to get into hockey because some kid in his class introduced him to hockey. But like
How do you
I
feel
said,
about that?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I brought him to the Gopher Notre Dame game
Yeah.
when Notre Dame was in town, and he probably won't go back until he's Braxton's age because he lasted 20 minutes and we had to leave. So I'm like, yeah, let's wait till you're a little bit older, buddy.
Yeah, maybe flip it on TV a couple times. And
Yeah,
Well,
we'll do
it's
that.
different to watch it than to play it, right? Like, especially at that age, and boys, they're so physical and so active, so he probably just wants to run around and get out than, like, sitting there and watching a game.
And we were
you know?
sitting behind the glass, the players, and it's like 100 and something steps to get down there.
it is a long way down at
I'm
Mariucci.
winded. Yeah, I'm winded already, and he lasted 20 minutes, ate his hot dog, was like, I'm daddy, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's go.
Well, Brax would watch the whole game with you if you ever want, so.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Love it. So, obviously, high school, really specializing in football. Then tell me about once you got to that next step into college. Were you recruited a lot? How did that process work for you?
My coach, Andy Bischoff, he was the assistant coach, head coach at the time at Cretin. He put a pencil and paper in front of me. He goes, where do you want me to send your tape? And I gave him 19 schools. Notre Dame was one of them, and USC was one of them. So I had a scholarship to all the schools besides SC. And that was the time when, like, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, they were the Alabamas.
Right.
And Coach Pete Carroll called my school and was like, yeah, you guys will come out for a one-day camp. And I said, no, if you can't give me a scholarship about my tape, I'm not going there. Like, forget it. So I chose Notre Dame.
How did you have that confidence? I feel like at that age, I mean.
I just feel like if every other school gave me a scholarship, just not even meeting me, just saw my tape, and you're telling me I had to fly all the way to Southern California to do a camp? Like, no. So I chose Notre Dame to play them every year. And they were stacked at that time, too. Like, it was bad. We didn't beat them in 10 years. We beat them my 21st birthday, my junior year. First time in 10 years.
Wow.
Out there. So it was a good ride back to South Bend. So it was good.
How was that experience playing at Notre Dame? There's just so much tradition there, an amazing atmosphere. You went to a game this year.
Yep. The only game they lost, which was wild.
Yeah. But if you could kind of sum up that experience or maybe highlight something from your time there, what comes to mind?
I would just say relationships and the people there. Like, I wanted to surround myself, one, with a small group of people, kind of like my high school.
Yeah.
There's only 1,200 people there. And Notre Dame, people think it's huge, but it's only 8,000 undergrad.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wanted to surround myself with people who wanted to do something in life and be successful in whatever they do, and people who are helpful. That's what I saw the most, going to that school, that, they wanted you to be somebody, and to help out. And that's what I got the most out of that school.
And from the intensity, how was that different from high school to the collegiate level? Was it a 180? What was kind of that intensity level comparing high school to college?
That kind of brings me to, just the word confidence. Like, my coaches instilled so much confidence in me. I had so much confidence in myself that, like, when I got there, like, the same kind of, work ethic kind of transitioned into college. And I don't think that really changed until you got to the league for me, to be like, oh, shoot, like, I just seen this dude on TV. Like, he's been the best ever. But from high school to college, it was kind of easy, because it was just, I felt myself being comfortable there. And the crazy thing is that I didn't even start when I got there. The fifth-year senior got hurt, and I jumped in, and it was like a 60-yard all-goal route, and I caught it, and that was the end of him too. But
well, you gotta make if you get that chance, you gotta take advantage of it.
Yes.
Because if you would have missed that pass,
I probably would have been back on the bench, and I probably wouldn't have ever played that year. But the fact that, the 2-year quarterback, Jimmy Clausen, which is one of my good friends now, he just dropped back there and just flung it out there. He had the confidence in me, but that also starts in practice too, that he's probably seen me make multiple plays like that in practice. So he was like, okay, I'm going to give this young guy a chance, and it all worked out. So,
Yeah. Wow.
we at InSports, we're all about goal setting, helping kids find ways to navigate goals, learn how to set goals. I'm assuming that being an NFL football player was a goal of yours. When did that start to become like a reality that, hey, I've got a possibility here to play in the NFL?
I think that was when I got, like, my junior year.
At Notre Dame?
At my junior year at Notre Dame, I had a good possibility. I never thought of staying all 4 years. I always told myself I'm going to go 3 years and then go to the league, because it's not for long. That's what it stands for. So, when you have a chance to get there, you go. But I only had, I think, 9 credits left after my junior year, and my mom didn't care anything about football. She just wanted me to graduate.
Yeah.
So I was one of the first ones in my family to graduate. I didn't have anything. I got done with my classes that semester, and I had a smooth senior year. It's kind of, nerve-wracking knowing that, you're going to stay for your senior year, so you're putting everything on the line.
Right.
Because, like, if you get hurt, your chances of getting to where you want to be might not work. But I didn't get injured. By the grace of God, he was protecting me. And the same guys who were in front of me since 8th grade, they had this, it's called rivals.com. So they rate all the guys over the country. And the same wide receivers in front of me, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, they've been in front of me the whole time since 8th grade. So I'm like, you know what, they're leaving their junior year, I'm going to stay. So they went, like, top 10, both of them. But I would have went, like, late first round. So I stayed, then kind of went through the combine and stuff like that, and went 13th overall. So.
And Arizona drafted you.
Yes.
So talk about that. Like, you've got the draft day, you've gone through combine, you're probably talking to a few different teams. Are you just sitting there super nervous? Like, when is this call going to come, or when is my name going to be called? So
I never took off my suit coat because I had pit stains all the way down to my belt buckle. Like, seriously, it's super, like, I was nervous because you never know where you're going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew I could go, like, 6, 10, but if they chose something, Fitz called me, texted me, and goes, hey, if you're there at 13, we're taking you. But then, as a player, you don't know how much pull he has, you don't know if he's telling you the truth or not.
Oh, it's Larry. Yeah.
But they picked me, and I was, like, super excited.
Who were you with at that time?
I was with my best friend, Shady, my sisters. I have 4 of them. My mom, my dad, my trainer since I was 14.
So were you back in Minnesota at this time?
Or were
no,
you,
I was
were you
in,
there? Were
I was
you
in
live?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have a choice to be at home or New York. New York was a great experience. If I had to go back, I would stay at home with my family and, just have
Be
us
with
all around.
everybody.
Be with everyone
Yeah.
who's been there since day one.
Yeah.
But that was my first time in New York, though, so it was a good experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you go pro now, right? So you're playing for Arizona. Obviously, now it's another competitive level, right? Like it's the best of the best. How was your experience navigating then going from the collegiate level to pro?
So Antonio Brown, the cornerback at the time, Antonio Cromartie, that's the name. He was the best defensive player at that time, and he lined up against me. And I remember, like, he just threw me to the sideline. I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the ball, and I'm like, this is Antonio Cromartie. Oh my gosh, I see him on
And
TV all the time.
is he on your team or is he on another
He's
team?
on the Jets.
He's
at
on
the
the Jets,
time.
okay.
And I got to play, and I got thrown out of bounds. Like, wasn't even part of the play. But then what I said earlier about confidence, he got traded. He was a free agent, came down to Arizona that year. And at the end of the year, I started having 100-yard games and having good scoring touchdowns. So my confidence was like it was in high school and college. And he came down there, and I was just dogging him. Like, it was like, the confidence was there. Like, no one can touch me. Obviously, it was a fair battle, but, I had my fair share of wins. So.
Well, that's a huge part of what we do at our In Sports Days, our free camps for kids. In our Be the Best You session is talk about self-confidence. And Bridget, you do a great job like teaching the kids like how to be confident, because it is an internal thing, and it's a mindset that you have to have. So that's awesome. Like was he the hardest player that you went up against, or throughout your career was there somebody that maybe derailed that confidence a little bit?
We played against Seattle, the Legion of Boom with Richard Sherman. We played against who else? Patrick Peterson was probably one of the toughest, in practice guys to get me ready for the game.
That's a good guy to have.
Good dude to
prepare
have.
you.
But you also you mentioned about confidence and mindset. I'm actually reading a book right now about mindset and like the fixed mindset. Like, when something goes wrong, you're like, oh man, I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to do it. As if you have a growth mindset, you're giving yourself positive affirmation in your head. And that's what I always do. My wife still makes fun of me because every morning I wake up and watch motivational clips on Instagram. But that's how I start my day.
Right. Let's go.
I need all the positivity that I can get in me to be like, you know what, I'm still that guy. I'm going to go out and, talk to people today and make some deals happen. So with work, it's the same thing. I bring football to real estate, and it all works out.
Do you know someone who could benefit from hearing this episode? Share it with them. Whether it's a friend, a coworker, a mentor, or a former athlete or current athlete, we want to make sure that these inspiring stories touch all of those who want to hear.
Your sports career at some point is going to be over. If you're a high school player, a college player, an NFL player, at any level of pro, at some point your career is going to come to an end. Maybe not with golf. You could probably play golf for a long time. But when did you get into real estate, and was it an easy transition? Was it a tough transition to get in from playing sports into the real life working world? And what do you bring every day to maybe things that you learn from playing football that you take into your job now as a real estate agent?
Yeah, so I started investing in 2019 in like single families and multi-families. I didn't get my license. I actually took 3 years off when I retired in 2020. I didn't know what the heck to do. And a lot of guys, get to that point and they still don't know what to do. Like they don't know what they're good at because they put, their sole focus into football, which is totally understandable. I get it. Not too many people last if you don't go 100% in there. But you always have to have that backup. So I was actually playing pickup ball with some investors and realtors, and they're like, Mike, man, like, you're good with people. You should get into real estate. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I kind of like not working and
Golfing.
whatever I wanted to. But I figured, there's more to me than being just a football player.
Yeah.
And this is just another way of helping people out. And so I got into it. And I didn't know, when I got into it, I didn't know anybody that I could be like, hey, Max, you're selling your house. Can I do it? No, I had to start from cold calling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I still do now. So every day at 6 a.m., which transitioned from football, is I role play with guys all over the country. And we go over just objections of, what people can give you. So I call people that homes were for sale, but it didn't get sold. So I try to pitch myself for an appointment. But I practice every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, just going over all the objections. But I probably wouldn't know how to do that if it wasn't for sports and football. It was a smooth transition from that. Once I get into the workforce area, and I enjoy myself every day.
That's awesome. One thing that I did want to touch on, kind of going back to you on the field, getting thrown to the sidelines. One thing that we also really love to touch on for our Be the Best You program for in sports is talk a lot about self-regulation. Obviously, you touched on self-confidence and goal setting, but you obviously have that confidence, but how do you ground yourself when like a play would get hard or you would get frustrated with something? Did you have any ways that you kind of coped with that?
I leaned on my friends, my teammates. There was a lot of older guys, Carson Palmer being one of them. I can remember I dropped a ball in Jacksonville. This is about, 10 years ago maybe, my third or fourth year. I dropped a ball. It was on third down. We go back to the sideline. We come back out the next series, and we're starting on the 9-yard line. And he goes, I'm going to you this whole time. Nine plays down, scored a touchdown, but every ball was to me the whole time. And like when you have someone on your side like that, to give confidence, knowing that he's 13 years in the league at that point, like he's seen it all.
Right.
He's been that, and he's probably had someone do that to him too. So just having a good friend and teammate like that, to knowing when someone's down, someone's coming over to bring back your confidence. And I think that happens all the time, whether what sport you have. So just having that mental wellness in golf, in football especially, and to have that friend to be there, like, hey, I got you, man. Everything's going to be all right.
Well, that just shows what it means to be a great teammate. Because if you're, you drop a ball and the opposite could have happened, they're like, oh, Michael, what are you doing? Like, come on, like you come on, and I'm not going to throw to you the rest of the game. Versus, hey, you got this. Like, I'm going to keep throwing to you, and that just helps your confidence and not, make you feel so down about yourself for missing that play. Because us, watching football on Sundays, we see like Jefferson misses an easy pass, but those high-level athletes have ways to get back into the game. But having good teammates is a big part of that.
Yeah, and like golf, though, like, which I like it so much, is because it's only me out there.
Yeah.
So as in football, Justin Jefferson doesn't get the ball if the left tackle doesn't block. So he's counting on everyone to do their job. As for golf, that's why I like it so much, because it keeps me competitive. Like I said earlier, like them hairs are raising up. Like, I like that, like I enjoy it.
How many years did it take to happen? Because my hair is not raising still. I've been golfing for 7 years.
That didn't happen till, let me see how long I've been at Golden Valley. My first year there, so 4 years ago. Yeah.
Well, and you kind of feel that when you coach too. Like you've played for all these years. Like I played hockey, I played college hockey, and now I'm coaching my son's mite hockey team. They're first graders, and you want them to do well, and you feel that energy and that excitement, and you kind of get that on a different perspective. And now you did some coaching with Concordia St. Paul.
I did.
And
yes.
are you still coaching or?
No, I can't do it until my kids are older.
Yeah.
The commitment, the time they want, I just can't do it. And it's less of a headache in my household when I'm there at dinner time. So
sacrifices, right?
This is sacrifices.
Yeah.
And the kids there, I wasn't really like too much of a coach. I was more of like, a mentor. You know, like when you're down, just like we spoke about, when you're down, I'm that guy to help you out, and to make it easier for you, and just, you know, instill the confidence in the kids. That's what they really need, especially over there. And you know, that's what I enjoy the most.
And so what were some of the techniques that you would do to help exude that for these kids?
But I think being a player coach, that's why some of the best coaches have played before. Unlike Bill Belichick, just X him off. But like mostly, I mean, Bruce Arians, Keenan McCardell for the Vikings wide receiver. Like, he probably doesn't yell too much at the wide receivers because he understands the game. Like, a ball goes over your head, the quarterback coach is probably like, oh man, you could have caught that. But the coach, Keenan McCardell, is like, dude, no, the ball was 10 feet in the air. Like, there's no way you can get that, you know? But knowing your players and knowing, you know, who you can yell at and who can't. Like, you can yell at me all you want. I'm my worst critic. Like, I understand, no, hey, Michael, get that going the next time. But there's some guys you can't because they fold into a shell. So being a good coach is knowing how to talk to people. You know, so it really helps out, and you know, as a coach, it makes you even a better coach.
From all the NFL teams, Notre Dame, Creighton, do you have one coach that stands out that was like, my life would not be the same without this coach coaching me through football?
I'll go back all the way to high school. I had separate parents, so, you know, sometimes my dad would take me to school, sometimes not. But like, we had 6, 7 coaches that are like father figures to me. Like, if I didn't, you know, make the city bus, someone's coming to pick me up, someone's coming to drop me off. You know, if I was BSing in school, you know, they're going to sit me down and be like, Michael, you can't do this, otherwise this is not going to happen. You know, and shot me straight up and understood. And there was no like, you know, saying that, you know, peeking behind the bush, if you could say that. You know, they're super straightforward in telling me, and that's what I like the most about them. So my high school coaches, I would say, definitely, for sure.
How were academics at Notre Dame? Are they tough?
Yeah, they're tough.
2 of my nephews go there right now, and one, he's probably going to go pre-med, but I'm like, man, these classes are, I'm like, over my head, man.
I did Calc 1. I got a B in it.
Wow.
Like, oh my God.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, I'm like, yeah. Then went to Calc 2, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is
English,
not
right?
for me.
Yeah.
Let me switch my major around. So I graduated sociology degree.
Nice.
Because I definitely couldn't see myself in a cubicle all my life.
Yeah.
I got to be moving.
Yeah.
And, you know, real estate makes me move all the time. So get my steps in.
Oh, yeah, you're doing tours and, networking. And
Yeah.
So how do you use, you know, obviously we're at a golf show here today. How have you used golf to help grow your network for, you know, your real estate career?
I mean, whoever wants to come and play at Golden Valley, you know, I say yes, come on by. Every tournament that's there, I try to meet everyone at the clubhouse. You know, if you have not played it before, you know, all you got to do is text or, you know, hit me up on social media, and we're probably going to go and play that year or that month or whatever. But that's how I usually use it. You know, I create, you know, we're trying to have an event at Golden Valley just to create that relationship. I'm also trying to have something for myself, a business kind of golf thing that goes there. So I usually mainly use the clubhouse for networking only. So,
well, like, we met through golf. I think you were at the White Bear Yacht Club with some buddies that I knew, and then we started our Broken Club through InSports to help more kids play golf through First Tee. And this year we're going to get Youth on Course involved. And but that was essentially, you know, a group of guys that were all business people, business owners, salespeople, and you know, having these exclusive events at different private clubs, but all the money's going back to helping kids. Talk about, like, do you wish when you were younger you would have gotten to golf earlier, or do you feel blessed, like, that you started later in your career?
Oh, 100%. I wish I would have gotten to golf earlier. But when we're younger, it seems like a old man sport. Mm-hmm. As in now, it's like it's the only thing you do.
It's a cool thing to do.
If my wife lets me out for 4 or 5 hours, I tell her every time, like, I'm a better wife. I'm a better husband and a better father when I come home, win or lose.
Does your wife golf at all?
No, she doesn't.
We can go. I'm not good. We can go for a round and just have fun because I feel like it's good. It is such a great opportunity to be outdoors, and it's like you can't just get off at hole 3. Like you're out there to it's like there's no excuses to just go run in. Whereas other activities there kind of is, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think it is a great opportunity to connect and
just to be outside. I mean, we've been indoors here in Minnesota. January, February have been brutal weather, so that, the more you can get outside and golf is a great way to do that.
Yes, definitely.
Max, why don't you also just talk about, the work that you guys are doing for the Broken Club? I think, highlighting that a little bit more would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So last year we were able to donate $20,000 to the first tee from a group of 20 individuals that were part of the Broken Club. We do a fun thing too at the end of each event. It's two-person events. And whoever wins it gets to break a club over their knee. And we take these old clubs that nobody should use, but it's a symbol. So every club we break, it's $1,000 that goes back to either the first tee, and now this year we're going to add a youth on course to that.
What is the youth on course? Can you explain that?
So youth on course, for those of you that don't know, you become a member. And so Minnesota is actually the second biggest chapter in the country. And so I think it's like $30 to be a member of Youth on Course, but then all the participating courses, it's just $5 to play each round. But then there's also scholarships. So if you can't afford that, the MGA subsidizes it so these kids can play. So it's all about accessibility, getting more kids out there, getting access to these different courses at a really low cost, either $5 a round or free. And so we want to help that because they don't have a limit on how many kids can be a part of that program. So it's almost like they have an unlimited. They have a limited budget, but they have an unlimited amount of chances that kids can go out and play. So we want to use some of these funds to help with that, so they have the funds so more kids can play, because they end up paying the courses the difference. So if it was $15 for a kid to play 9 holes, they pay $5. The MGA pays the 10. So the course gets their full amount, so the course doesn't lose money, and they can run the course. So that's a really cool addition. And then the first tee is all about a kid fell in love with the game, and now they can help teach them more of the fundamentals and skills to grow their golf skills. And they're doing this in a lot of the city courses. With some of the money we donated last year, they're able to add a program in Staples, Minnesota, so a rural community, to just get more kids playing and learning the game. So it's been really fun. I'm blessed that you've been able to be a part of it, and we've gotten to play a few times in our events, and looking forward to another year of it.
Yeah, and that's the main reason why I joined, is I know how much support I had growing up, that that's what kids need. It's that support system there, and when you lay it out for them, you can guide them through the process. And like I said, I've had multiple mentors in my life, and the fact that I can join the Broken Club and be a mentor to others, and actually give my time or money to help their benefits would be great. And I love golf. So
how is it playing with Max? I'm always curious.
Oh, it's not bad. He's a good player.
You can be honest. He's not right over there.
He's a good player. He's not bad at all. I liked it. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, we played. I think we played at Olympic. That's when we got to play together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do like Olympic. We joined though because I'm like, we have 3 kids. They got to be able to come. You're not going to be leaving every night to go play golf.
Oh,
so our kids have no choice at this point. We got a stroller pushing our 1.5-year-old. The other one's playing in the sandbox, and
we're
Rex
a hot
is driving.
mess when we go to the course. We take one cart, and we're either all on it, 5 of us, or somebody's pushing the stroller. They've got 2 kids. Kids are running around everywhere. But it's fun when the courses are acceptable and the other members are kind of going through the same thing, and just having a lot of kids out there it's a fun atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
But should we do the rapid fire questions
Oh
here?
yeah, we've got some fun questions for you here.
I didn't see that on the email.
No. All right. Best golf course you've ever played?
Riviera.
Why?
So I'll probably never be able to play it again. So.
Favorite club in your bag?
Pitching wedge.
Went from 8-iron to pitching wedge?
Yeah.
Okay. Worst shot you've ever hit?
Oh my gosh, I gotta go way back. Actually, not way back because the same bad shots still happen every year. I think I might have just hooked it left, it hit a tree, and came right back to where I was. That was like 2 years ago.
Where there's a lot of people around watching?
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
So like, you always see them pictures of, Tiger hitting on the 18th and all them people are right there. Like one of them people would have got hit with a golf ball if I was there.
I always think about that when you're watching TV and there's all these people lined up and you're like, if an amateur was out there, somebody would get hit in the head with this golf ball.
Oh yeah. I think Caitlin Clark almost hit somebody. There was a video of that.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. What would be more nerve-wracking, NFL game day or standing over a clutch putt to maybe win the club championship at Golden Valley?
Club championship at Golden Valley, yeah. That one I have super confidence in that's gonna go probably my way. This one I don't know which way.
All right, if you could play Augusta National or win the Super Bowl. Now you were part of the Patriots
2016.
in 2016.
Yes, I already did that.
You already did that.
Check done, right?
Check. Now, how about win the Super Bowl again or play Augusta?
Now that I love golf more than football, I'm gonna have to go play Augusta.
Wow,
Like,
did you
I
just
have
say
to.
you love golf more than football now?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's way up there.
That's awesome.
It's hard to compete with golf. It's an awesome game.
Well, I hope my hair stands up someday, Michael. You give me hope. I don't know. We'll see about that.
Hey everyone, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about the In Sports Foundation. At In Sports, we're all about helping kids get more involved in sports. We do this through providing free camps, scholarships, and team sponsorships, all to help reduce the cost of sports and getting more kids into the game. Through sports, kids can learn valuable life lessons, stay active, and maintain their mental well-being. To support our mission and help us get more kids into the game, visit our website at insportsfoundation.org to make a donation. Together, we can make a difference.
So for that Super Bowl in New England and being part of that team, talk about that experience a little bit.
I'll just talk about halftime. Down 28-3. Any other team I would have been on, that game's over. It's done. But I remember time coming around as we're in our locker rooms, like, hey, we got this. We got this. Just saying that, just over and over. We got this. Don't worry about it. Like he's been there 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so, like, the main guy is saying that, we all talked about it during this whole thing. It was just confidence in everybody. Oh, yeah, we got this. We got this. Yeah. There was, like, nothing negative in the locker room. Like, we just knew, like, we were going to win. But like I said, like, every other team I would have been on, that probably would have been 45-3. People would have been like, this is over. We'll try next year. But that team it's just different. And the leaders that just, when you have good leaders on the team, you just raise everyone else's game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that positivity is contagious and that culture is contagious, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like you can't teach that.
No.
You can come up with tactics on ways to do it, but, even just, we had Josh Metellus on and Blake Cashman on our podcast recently, and they also talked about just the culture of a team is just, you go into one locker room, it might feel one way, and you go into the other, and it's just like an unexplainable culture and positive energy that it's contagious, and that's what makes a really good team.
Yeah,
so super
definitely.
cool.
It kind of reminds me of the Vikings when they were down versus the Colts, and everybody, it was that huge comeback, and everybody in the whole stadium was about to leave. Like we were there and was like about to leave this game, but that leadership and positivity that's in that Vikings locker room is especially over the last 3 years has probably been.
Well, the Vikings
level.
always keep us on the edge of our
Yes,
seats,
yeah.
regardless of what game it is. So you have to definitely stay for the whole game. You never know what's going to happen.
Know.
So.
Even if we're up or down, you got to watch it till the end. How was your time in Minnesota? You're there for a year?
Yep, there for a year, and then went to Washington. It was good. It was the, Minneapolis Miracle year.
Mm-hmm.
They had a rookie here that was a first-round draft pick who didn't start because Adam Thielen and Steph Diggs. But when you're
was that Treadwell?
Treadwell.
Yep.
But when you're a first-round pick, you're kind of given that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't playing, so I'm like, what's going on? But it's also you have to be someone that buys into the system. And I don't know, as a rookie, he didn't really buy in too much. So that's how I think why he didn't play so much. But it was a great season. Fun to be home.
Yeah.
I didn't have to spend any money bringing my family to Arizona or anywhere else. So it was good to get everyone there to watch me play. So it's fun.
Nice. We love to ask our guests if you either had advice for. I'll do this in two questions. If you had advice for kids out there, because we love to grab snippets of this podcast that we can hopefully inspire kids. So whether it's a kid who's getting into golf or getting into football or getting into whatever sport, what advice would you give to that younger age kid? That maybe they're going through some things that are building resilience and confidence and going through some tough times in sports. But based on your whole career and what you've been through, what advice would you give to kids if you could kind of sum that up?
I would say try everything. I think nowadays kids are like so focused on one sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a basketball player. Oh, he's only playing basketball and training all the time. When I was younger, I trained for football, but I played basketball and ran track specifically for football. And I would say, try everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you're good at that point.
Yeah.
And, once you get something good, just, craft it in any way you can to get better, but also be an all-around player. Like when that season comes to do a different sport, go in there and try it out because you might be good at that also. So that's what I would definitely say is try everything,
Yeah.
Don't be solely focused on one sport.
Yeah, and that's a big part of our In Sports Foundation. When we do our In Sports Days, they're kind of like sports sampler camps. So we've got football stations, soccer stations, lacrosse. We're going to add golf this year in our summer school programming. So it's all about getting kids to try all these sports because you don't know what you like until you try something.
And as a parent, you kind of cling to what you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know certain sports, so you might push your kid to do that more. So I think just the exposure of giving them a chance to try it all before it's too late, unfortunately. I mean, we now live in a world where you don't have to specialize in kindergarten, but you do need, if you want to go to that next level as you get older, you do need to kind of figure that out. So the sooner you do, but still playing multiple, I think can be a huge benefit.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yeah, and it keeps it fresh too. If you're just playing football all year round or playing hockey all year round, you're probably going to burn out if you're not mixing in some other things.
Yeah.
But also, I think for golf specifically, it's like if your parents didn't play golf, there's a very low chance that they're gonna buy you clubs and take you to the course if they don't know anything about golf. Like, it's too expensive for a lot of in people's minds, and so that's why I love what like Youth on Course and First Tee are doing. They're making it affordable for kids that maybe didn't have a parent play get in. Because like my dad played, so we went all the time, and he got it. But his dad didn't, so his friends got him into golf. But I think for a lot of kids, they need an outside source like a First Tee, like a In Sports, like a Youth on Course to get them involved.
Well, and the accessibility of it, right? Like you can't just go hop on a course. Like there's accessibility, then there's the equipment then you need. Yeah, then there's the time. Then there's also the golf etiquette. Learning all of the etiquette on the course. Like there's a lot to it. It's not like you're just going into a gym and shooting some hoops, So it is super, super cool what the First Tee is doing, and really, really proud of the work you guys are doing for the Broken Club. I think that It's just a great way to, for building a network for the group that's a part of it, but also giving these kids a chance to play.
Yeah.
And that's really all you need is a chance
Yeah.
for kids.
Right.
All you need is a chance. Just open the door just a little bit. If we can open the door just a little bit for these kids, it makes a world difference.
Absolutely.
So the second part of that question is advice for parents. So if you're a parent and you've got kids and they're playing sports, what advice would you give to? And I mean, you're kind of living through it right now on the younger stages, but going through what you did, what advice would you give to parents out there?
I mean, it's different for me, and I know like from a player side I played, how I could be with my kids, but I know I'm not going to get the best reaction out of my kids if I was going to be, what I think I would be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more calming. I actually go down to their level and actually get on one knee and explain and stuff. Or if we're watching a movie, I pause the movie and explain, like, this is it's a lot of explanation to everything and letting them know how it actually is. So I would say just be a parent to, like you don't know anything either, and just be there for your son or daughter or whoever, and just be positive. Just be a positive parent, and, I feel like you get the most out of kids when you're just being a positive person about the whole game.
And just involved. Being involved.
Yes, being there. Being there. That would be a big one too.
Yeah. Michael, as we look to wrap up this episode, is there anything else that you'd like to share with listeners here, our listeners on Athletes in Sports? Any last words?
Yeah, I would say, if you love golf and you haven't played Golden Valley before, just shoot me a direct message, or
you might be getting a lot. Watch out.
My phone number is somewhere out there. You can text message.
All real estate people, their numbers are everywhere. Call me. Yeah.
I'm always down for golf.
Where can people find you? How do they reach out? What is your Instagram?
Instagram is Mike Floyd. What else do we have out there? Facebook, Michael Floyd. TikTok. Email.
X.
Yeah,
Twitter.
X, yeah. But mostly Instagram, Mike Floyd.
Okay.
That's where I get a lot of messages and I respond to mostly everybody. So
well, you've been doing a great job with your personal brand and promoting, throwing things out there. That's a leap that it's scary for a lot of people to take, like just going out there on social media and posting videos and stuff. So you've been doing an awesome job on
appreciate
that.
it. Thank you.
I've enjoyed seeing your stuff you put out there. So
Thank you.
Awesome. Bridget, you got anything else?
No, I just want to, thank you for your time this morning and keep being a great dad, a great real estate agent, and
average golfer.
Friend to us, average golfer, all the things.
Just get better every round. Find a way to get better every time you go out there. Well, thank you, Michael, for being on today. I'd like to thank the Minnesota Golf Show here for inviting us onto the stage. I got a message on LinkedIn from somebody, and they're like, hey, would you like to come do a show on here? So power social media right there.
Awesome.
So thanks to the Minnesota Golf Show as they wrap up here on their last day, and thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Athletes in Sports Podcast. If you want to hear more inspiring stories from athletes, subscribe to our podcast and follow us on all of our social media channels. Let's keep inspiring kids to get in the game.